Hey, what up, BGK gang? This is Andre of Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert notification so you're notified every time we drop new content, and that's going to be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode. Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time. Let's get ready for a BGK story time. Today's story time is about the time I spent $25,000 on a huge XL American Bully that I hadn't seen before. My family thought I lost my damn mind. I just wanted to be a breeder. Did that work out? Yeah, that happened. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Andre BGK right back at you. We here for another story time. And what I'm going to tell y'all about today is buying BGKs The Rock. Alright, a lot of people ask me about buying BGKs The Rock. I know most people are not going to buy a $25,000 dog, okay? That's not normal. I'm not normal. Welcome to my world. I noticed I got a lot of new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tapping in. Make sure you turn on that notification bell. But what I want to explain to you guys, for the new guys that don't know, is who BGKs The Rock is, because he's a very famous dog. He was around for a long time. He was the first XL American Bully to go viral. Millions of views on his videos. The first time I took a video with him is this video right here. It was just me throwing a ball with him in the street. And this video actually got 4 or 5 million views. I couldn't believe it because I'm just playing ball with my dog in the street. The next time we did BGK The Rock service dog videos. That was our next step, showing him interacting with the public. Those videos also went viral as well. I found them on other channels, translated in Spanish. I found it on WorldStar. We did over 1 million views on worldstar.com in one day. I didn't pay to get posted. They posted us up as the animal clip of the day. So that was really unique and brought a lot of attention. I feel like BGKs The Rock and I were the prelude to the Hulk. We actually paved the way for him to do what he's doing now, because we put the focal point on the American Bully, and not just the American Bully, but the XL American Bully and their temperament and how they can interact and be a family dog and not just a scary, ferocious dog the way that everybody thought the American Pitbull Terrier was. So for those that don't know, I want to kind of give you a quick intro about BGKs The Rock and why he's known and who he was before this video went any further, so it can make sense. A lot of today's top kennels has used BGKs The Rock's blood because they know that it produces size and a perfect temperament and beautiful dogs. Rock has had a huge impact on the XL American Bully world, a huge impact. XXL Designer Pitbulls, Manmade Kennels, Top Blue Kennels. I can keep going and keep going. There's a lot of kennels that have started using our blood. BGK Shadow over at Manmade Kennels. BGKs Azore was the foundation stud for XXL Designer Pitbulls, so they got their start from dealing with us. And like I said, the list goes on. BGK's Cujo was the first XL American Bully that actually went into Europe and made a name for himself, and he was produced by me and BGKs The Rock, so that's more of The Rock's offspring out there making a difference. So I just want you to understand the historical impact he's had. RIP to BGKs The Rock, a true legend. I really miss him, man. The best $25,000 I ever spent in my life. Most of my current dogs that I have in my program are offspring of BGKs The Rock or offspring of his offspring. He's in their pedigree, and he's the reason why we have over 40 million views on this channel. He's a big part of that reason. So yeah, he was important to our program. And a lot of people are asking, am I still breeding? Yes, I still breed. Just drop by BigGeminiKennels.com. BigGeminiKennels.com. Okay, so I want to tell y'all how it came to be that I purchased BGKs The Rock. Let me take y'all back a little bit to when I was first getting started breeding. I had just did a breeding with Roman Vaughn of Iron Cross Kennels. I just knocked that out. I did my first breeding with Disciple. And Roman, he was always known for the best looking, biggest, most beautiful XL dogs at that time, right? And I was his client at that point. Roman had actually went to Canada to see what he told me was the biggest pit bull that he'd ever seen in his life, the biggest American Bully he'd ever seen in his life, right? So he literally, I took notice of this because Roman was all into his dogs. He was in the Disciple, he was in the Iron Maiden, he wasn't in the dogs from other kennels. But at this point, Roman said, look, I had drove all the way to Canada because this dog is that nice. Now, he lived in Orange County, right? Orange County is south of LA. So for him to drive from down in Orange County all the way up to Canada just to see a dog, I knew this dog had to be an important dog, right? So when Roman got back, he had pictures of the dog, and the dog was Sunline's Gladiator Rock. All right, now Rock was produced by Anthony Son of Sunline Kennels. I did not buy him from there, but that's where he was created. So with that being said, Roman got back, he had taken the pictures, he was showing, like, slow leaking the pictures out, like one here and there. He was showing like the size of the head. He's like, man, it's the biggest head I've seen on any dog, period. Like, not just a pit, it's the biggest head I've ever seen. So he's got me curious, right? I'm really thinking, I want to see this dog. Like, if Roman's that excited about this dog, yo, it's got to be dope. So when Roman got back and he's showing me all these pictures, he goes, look, the guy wants to sell the dog for $25,000. I don't want to spend $25,000 on this dog, man. Like, I'm doing too much. I got my money spread out here and there. I don't want to spend $25,000 on this dog. But I got an idea. You and Jackson of Alabama Iron should now, Jackson, let me explain to you who we are to Roman. Jackson is another client of Roman's, right? So I'm a client of Roman's. At this point, Jackson of Alabama Iron is a client of Roman's, and he's trying to put two of his clients together. I'm supposed to come up with $12,500. Jackson's supposed to come up with $12,500, and we'll buy the dog together. All right? I'm like, I don't even know, man. I haven't seen this dog. That's a lot of money for a dog. Let me do this. I'll breed to this dog first, right? I'll do this breeding, and I'll see if that dog produces, and if this dog produces, then I'll consider buying this dog. And in my mind, Roman never knew this, but $25,000 wasn't that big of a deal to me if it was worth the investment. I had the money. I just wanted to make sure it was worth it. I was never, ever going to do this deal with Jackson. I was just telling Roman, yeah, I might do it with Jackson because since he suggested it, I didn't want to say no. But in my mind, I was never going to do this deal because you imagine, I spend $12,500 on this dog. This dude spends $12,500 on the dog. Roman's idea was, we keep the dog at Jackson's house. It reminds me of Debo, right? Like, this is my dog, but it's just at his house. Man, forget all that. Like, you already know. I don't want to do that. The guy that actually owns the dog at this point, his name is John Yu of Gladiator Kennels. All right? So I called John up, and I'm like, hey, John, look, bro. I want to breed to your dog. What's his name? The Rock? I want to breed to him. Because Rock is really young at this point. I think he's just over a year old. He's a young adult, right? I was like, I want to breed to this dog, man. And John was like, okay, all right, go ahead. Let's do the deal. So he gave me a price. I don't remember what the price was. I think it was like $6,000 he wanted me to pay. So I paid him the $6,000, $5,000, whatever it was to breed with the Rock. I wanted to breed Rock into my girl Jules. She was an OG gray line bitch. I figured it would be a good match. I figured she'd add blue to the breeding and it'd be a phenomenal breeding, which it turned out to be a phenomenal breeding, but not this time. It didn't happen this time. So with that being said, we have Jules ready to go. We have Rock ready to go. I know that Jules is in heat. So I've been talking to John a lot over the phone at this point. And I'm like, hey, man, I can't wait to breed to your boy. I can't go up because I have a lot of work. I have a lot of things going on in LA at that point. So I have my cousin take Jules up, drive her all the way up to Canada to be able to breed to Rock. So my cousin goes up there here. He makes it through the border. He drives up to John's house. Once he gets to John's house, he's actually calling me up saying, hey, man, this dog is actually huge. This dog is beautiful, bro. I'm telling you, I've never seen this dog at this point, right? So I'm hearing it from Roman first. Now my cousin's up there in Canada next to the dog telling me, bro, I know $25,000 sound crazy for a dog, but I think you might have found a $25,000 dog. Okay, bet. All right, send me some pictures, take some footage, get back down here, drop Jules off. So my cousin drops off my girl Jules to do the breeding with Rock, meets John, meets Rock, and then turns around, drives from Canada all the way back down to Los Angeles. All right. So when my cousin gets back down to Los Angeles, we're talking about it. He's telling me he thinks it's a good investment, but he understands that it's a crazy investment because it's a lot of money for a dog. I'm like, wait and let's see what he produces. I need to see some puppies off of this dog so I can know that he's not just a big dog that can't get it done, but he's actually a producer. Like, keyword producer. If it's not a producer, it's not worth being done, right? So with that being said, I called John up. How's the breeding going, bro? How the breeding going? John's like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, Jules is kind of aggressive. Here we go again. Remember, Roman said she was aggressive. Now Jules is in another country being aggressive. Jules is a super aggressive dog. So when she gets out there and he says she's aggressive, I'm like, hey, man, you just got to spend a little time with her, bond with her a little bit, and then everything should be fine, all right? So he's like, man, okay, man, you know what? She actually tried to go at one of my dogs. I'm like, man, keep her away from other dogs. She's not a dog-friendly dog. She's dog aggressive, but she should be fine with you. So he calls me saying, hey, man, Rock is trying to breed with her, but it ain't happening. Like, he's too big. I'm like, oh, my God. I got my dog in another country with a breeder that doesn't know how to tie these two dogs together. Tie is when two dogs mate, right? So I'm tripping out. So my whole idea at that point is call Roman, because Roman's my mentor at that point still, right? So I call Roman, and Roman, John, the owner of Rock at that point, and me, we all get on the phone. And Roman's smoking. I could hear him smoking over the phone. Roman used to smoke a lot. So Roman's smoking some weed. He's like, dude, man, he's telling this to John. He's like, dude, this is what you got to do, bro. You can't be scared. If you got to get some gloves, but you're going to have to help him in there. You're going to have to grab him, guide him in, and push his butt. And so he stays in until they're tied, and then you'll be fine. And then John responded with, you actually want me to touch it? Like, are you serious? So at this point, I know I'm in trouble. This dude is responding like an amateur. This is yucky. Like, what? Bro, this is breeding. You got to do what you got to do. You scared to touch a dog? Ha, get up out of here. You feel me? So with that being said, we hung up that three-way call. Roman called me back. He's like, your breeding ain't going to take, bro. I guarantee your breeding ain't going to take. And Roman is monitoring this whole situation because remember, he wants me to help buy Rock. He wants me to go halves with Jackson to buy Rock. So he's monitoring this whole situation. So Roman's like, I don't think it's going to take, bro. If he's saying that over the phone, there's no way he's going to get it in there and get it tied. Right? So bottom line, John claims that they tie. He never sends me pictures of the tie. Just like Roman never sent me pictures of the tie. See that common thread right there? But anyway, he never sends me pictures of the tie. And after Jules gets back, I'm pissed because when Jules gets back to me, he flies her back down to me, right? So I pick her up at the LAX. And when I pick her up at the LAX, my girl is skin and bones. It looks like she hasn't been fed in forever. And what I realized was, because Jules was an aggressive dog, being aggressive up there, he probably put her off to the side, didn't give her no food, wasn't interacting with her. He got mad because she got aggressive with one of his dogs, and therefore my dog is coming back looking like shit, like straight shit. So I'm mad at this point, like, wow, I can't believe you got my dog looking like this. So you know me, I hop on the phone, hey bro, what's wrong with you, man? Like, be glad I'm not in Canada. You got my dog looking crazy. Like, seriously? So I'm on the line. And he's like, nah, man, you know what? I'm sorry, bro. I'll make it up to you. I'll make it up to you. I'll figure out something. I'm like, I don't think she's going to take, bro. She come back skin and bones. You don't send me pictures of the tie. You said you were having problems getting them the tie. So how am I supposed to believe that this breeding actually even happened? Like, I spent money. I spent money on the stud feed. I spent money having my cousin drive her up there. I spent money flying her back down here just to see her in skin and bones and not pregnant. Like, we got a problem. So, short story shorter, Jules didn't take. Surprise, Roman was right, I was right, the breeding didn't work out, she didn't take. And that would have been an amazing breeding, which I ended up doing myself. And I'm glad it ended up that way. But with that being said, out of the blue, I get a call from John. John calls me, and he's like, look, man, I got a court case right now. I got caught up with some weapons. I was like, what do you mean you got caught up with some weapons? He's like, they caught me with like 18 guns. So I'm done, bro. Like, I'm definitely going to jail. It's just a matter of how long. I need more money for a good attorney. I want to sell you Rock. I was like, weren't you selling it to Roman? He was like, yeah, but if you're willing to do the deal straight up, I'll sell you the dog right now. And I was like, what's the price? He's like, $25,000. I can't give you a price break because I need this money to pay for my lawyer so I can get as little time as possible. And at that point, I'm like, the breeding didn't take. I'm kind of back and forth with it. Like, I haven't seen the dog in person yet. My cousin seen it in person and said the dog was dope. Roman drove all the way to Canada and told me the dog was dope. So the dog's got to be lit. I've seen a lot of pictures of the dog, both from my cousin, both from Roman. So I know that the dog has a good look to it. $25,000. Let's run it, bro. You know what? Let's run it, man. Scared money don't make money, right? You got to invest in something if you believe in it, right? So I've always been that kind of dude. I don't sit on the porch. I jump off the porch and make it happen. So I went ahead and told him, let's do it. So I told him I was going to send him half. And when he sent the dog down to me, he was going to send it by airplane. Once he shipped the dog to me, then I would send him the other half. And then he said after that other half, then he had somebody down here, a female, that had the papers. Because I'm like, without the papers, I'm done, bro. Like, without the papers, what am I going to do, right? So, at the end of the day, I sent him $12,500. He flew Rock down to the airport. Now, I went to go pick up this dog from the airport, and this was an experience because I'd never seen this dog before, and I was worried about it. So, this is going to sound crazy, but I had a nice little 9mm that I decided to take with me because I didn't know how this was going to work out. This was a big dog. In the worst case scenario, I don't know how this is going to work out. Bottom line. He's telling me that the temperament is cool and there should be nothing to worry about. However, I don't know that for myself at that point, right? So I get to the airport early. Rock flies into the LAX. I forget which airline we used, but it was one of the major airlines. And when I arrived to the airport, I had to go to the cargo section because when the dog is imported, it comes into the cargo section. So I drive over to where the cargo section is. When I get over there, I see like a crowd around this crate. I'm talking about a crowd of like where the section he's in, only the airline employees can get to. So there's like a crowd of airline employees around that crate, circling that crate, staring at that crate, taking pictures while Rock is in that crate. So I can only imagine what that feels like to Rock. Like you just got to a new place, you got all these new faces crowded around you, staring at you, you know. So I come up like, that's my dog, bro. They like, oh, that's your dog? Oh man, this dog is crazy. Right then and there, as weird as this may sound to you, I knew I made a good investment. Their reaction was not normal. Their reaction was extreme. Their reaction is the kind of reaction you have when you see something you've never seen before. I haven't even seen the dog, but I could see by their faces that there's something that got them shocked at this point. So they're like, do you mind if we take pictures when you pull them out? I'm like, look, this is not my dog. Well, it's my dog, but it's not my dog yet. Like, I don't know this dog. I'm meeting this dog for the first time. Y'all gonna have to give me some space, bro. Y'all can take some video if you want, but back up. Like, I don't want, there's not gonna be holding no leashes and taking pictures and none of that. Like, I need y'all to give me some space so I can interact with this dog. Now, I didn't bring the pistol in with me because it's an airport. So I'm even more nervous, right? I have nothing on me to deal with this dog if it goes bad, right? And I look in that crate and I see the biggest head on the dog I've ever seen. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Like, it was just a moment of shock for me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, looking at this dog was just a trip. Like, wow. You know, now as the years went by and Rock and I got to know each other, that wow factor went away. I had to take a trip and come back, and then wow, I could see that shies again. But initially, when I first seen him that first time, it was just like, whoa, whoa, yeah, jackpot, this is it, right? Like, if his temperament is cool, this dog is the one. So anyway, I go to the crate, I look in there, I see his big old head, the big body behind it, and I'm just, wow. So I open the crate. When he walked out, I felt like he was gonna crack the concrete, man. Like, I felt like, whoa, what am I looking at? And he just got bigger and bigger as he got out of the crate, and I was just like, wow. Moment of just awe, like, whoa, this is my dog. This is my dog now. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was excited. So now he's being real stoic. He's not really wagging his tail. He's not growling. He's just kind of like analyzing, looking around at everybody. So immediately I walked him outside and I submitted him. I figured the first thing I should do is put him on his back, put my hand around his throat and submit him, not violently. Now, when you submit a dog, you're not choking him for real. You're just showing dominance. You're just putting him on his back. Dogs don't like to be in a prone position with their hands up, with their paws up, because when they are, they're at their most vulnerable. So I put him on his back and I submitted him, and he allowed me to submit him. He laid there like that for a minute, and I went from holding him down to petting him, caressing him, you know, petting his face, just talking to him, letting him hear my voice, letting him get my scent, letting him get familiar with my energy. And man, he was responding good. So I lit him up, he got up, and he sniffed me and he licked me. And at that moment, like, I can't say we were permanently bonded, but I knew that our bond was going to be strong. I could feel it. Like, okay, there's nothing to worry about here. This is going to be good. This is going to be a go. He's not going to eat my daughter when he gets home. He's going to be fine, right? So he uses the bathroom, and I'm just walking around, and I feel like I had the biggest secret in the world at this point. Like, yeah, people don't know what just touched down at the LAX. They have no idea. We're about to change the game. Me and this dog are about to change the game. It's on. So I'm walking him around and just, I'm still in shock looking at what's on the other end of that leash when we're walking around outside in the grass outside of the LAX cargo section, right? So eventually I get him into my truck, and I end up driving him back to my house. And when I drove him back to my house, everybody at the house was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Everybody was tripping. So after that, I used to walk Rock. I would take him on a walk every evening, every night. The reason I did that was I needed that one-on-one time with him to bond, just bond, 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 bond. And I could say before about a week in, I didn't need a leash. I only needed a leash to make everybody else around us feel secure, but I didn't need a leash to keep him next to me. We bonded like real quick. So at night, I would take his leash and kind of put it around my neck like it's a collar or a chain or something, and I would have it there. So if I seen somebody, I would take it off and I would clip them up so they would feel safe, but he would be right there. I was just testing his boundaries, and everywhere I walked, he would stay right there, right on my side. I'd make a left, he make a left. I'd make a right, he make a right. And everywhere we went, the reaction was the same. Everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God. Like they were tripping, like that dog is crazy. Can I see him? Cars are stopping, cars are pulling over. Like he's a celebrity in his own right. No internet promotion, no marketing, no nothing. Just the dog himself. Anywhere he went, he attracted attention. I hadn't had a dog like that before. People tripped off of Zilla. I already had Zilla. Zilla had a real evil look, a sinister look, and nice stature. He's about 120-ish. Now, Rock is a 150-pound dog. Legit 150, not internet stats. Like a lot of these kennels have fake numbers, fake stats. Rock was none of that. Rock was the real deal. I called John back up like, hey man, I like this dog. I love this dog. Now Roman's pissed. Roman hit me up like, hey man, what happened, bro? I thought you were going to do the deal with Jackson. I'm like, bro, look at it this way. If you want to use Rock, you could use Rock. There's no way I'm going to have. He was like, well, Jackson has a better setup. He has a better kennel setup. And he did. Jackson had a better kennel setup than me. Came front. He's like, Jackson has a better kennel setup, so why don't you do this? Like, you can keep him over there. Jackson said he'll still give you the other half of the money and you guys can work it out. You know what? Jackson seemed like a real redneck to me, bro. I don't want to work with nobody over there, bro. Alabama Iron, he can keep all the dogs he has over there. Period. I'm going to do what I'm doing on my own. I'm not really one to try to be part of somebody else's team. I make my own path, bro. He's like, so did you borrow that money? I was like, why are you worried about my finances, bro? Bottom line, I paid $25,000 for the dog. I got the paper. The dog looks good. So now I'm finally ready to do the breeding. And by the way, Roman started acting funny after that. This is where Roman started to see me as competition. Matter of fact, let me be clear when that happened, then I'll get back to the other part of the story. I took a picture of my cousin stacked up with Rock. This picture went everywhere. It went on all the boards. And when it went on all the boards, everybody I knew asked me, could they breed to my dog? Because they could finally see the size of this dog. Roman had taken pictures, but they weren't marketed. John owned Gladiator Kennels, right? Oh, I got to go back to another key part too. John owned Gladiator Kennels. Rock was produced by Sunline Kennels. So his name was Sunline for Sunline Kennels. Gladiator for Gladiator Kennels was John owned Rock. So Sunline's Gladiator Rock. When I was purchasing Rock, I made sure to ask John to put it in black and white in the contract that I can market him by a call name, BGKs The Rock. That's how he got his name. I asked him, like, if I'm paying $25,000 for this dog, I don't deal with Sunline Kennels, I don't deal with Gladiator Kennels, and this name has 2 kennel names in there that I don't even deal with. So how can I market him as my dog when I got to deal with Sunline's Gladiator Rock? 2 different kennel names in front of him. If I'm paying $25,000 for this dog, it has to be able to be called BGKs The Rock. I'm not going to change his registered name. I'll leave that. I will give Anthony's son credit on my website for producing him. No problem. But I'm not going to call him Sunline's Gladiator Rock. I'm going to call him BGKs The Rock. He didn't care. He wanted the money. That's all he wanted was the money. Hey, man, give me the money. You can call him whatever you want. You can call him whatever you want. So cool. All right. We got that situated. So I always called him by his call name, BGKs The Rock. But his actual registered name is Sunline's Gladiator Rock. And that was in our contract and that was in our deal. And it was negotiated prior to me ever sending the money. So with that being said, back to the picture. So I took this picture of my cousin. I just got Rock. I took the picture of my cousin with Rock, and he's holding Rock up so we can see his size in comparison to my cousin. You can see how wide and thick he is, how big his head is, and that was it. The internet went nuts for that picture. And I've seen a lot of y'all recreate that picture where you're holding your dog up to try to show the size. I see a lot of y'all doing that. Act like I don't know. Y'all know who did that first, bruh. I did it. Yeah, that's your boy. But you know what? Imitation is the best form of flattery, so thank you. I appreciate it. Do your thing. But anyway, with that being said, that picture went everywhere, man. That picture went everywhere. That shot of them stacked up went everywhere. So once that was going around, Roman called me up like, hey, man, I really like that picture. You take more pictures like that, and that dog is going to be famous. But what he didn't say was he was telling everybody else, hey, man, don't breed to the Rock. Don't use The Rock. I don't think Dre got papers. He started to see me as competition. So we went from being friends who dealt with each other and him as my mentor to automatically Dre just stepped up, spent $25,000 on a dog that I wanted him to buy with somebody else, and now he's on his own, and he's competition. We ain't cool no more. He never said that directly to me, but it came back through many people that were mutual friends. They kept telling me, hey bro, y'all ain't cool like you think you are, not no more. Since you picked up that boy, he knows that you're competition now, and now y'all got an issue. I'm like, okay, I mean, say less. We got an issue, we got an issue. It is what it is. I'm not worried about that. I'm still doing me, and I'm still doing me. So at the end of the day, me and Roman kind of parted ways, and I decided I was going to go ahead and breed Rock. So I breed Rock. I take Rock to be bred, and this one I realized another reason that John sold me the dog. When I take Rock in, I'm going to breed him to Jules. Remember when I sent Jules up to Canada? Well, now I have him in person, so I can do the breeding myself. I take Rock in to breed with Jules. When I take Rock to breed with Jules, and they go to collect Rock semen, it's mostly blood, not semen. And my vet tells me, you know what? I guarantee you one of the reasons this guy sold you this dog is because he's been ejaculating blood and he didn't know what was going on. And this is one of the reasons I stick with the same vet to this day. They figured out what it was. It was just a UTI, a urinary tract infection. But at that point, it was too late for this breeding. So I'm like, man, I just spent $25,000 on a dog, and this dog can't even produce semen. Oh man, like I was tripping. But they were like, we know what to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put him on these pills. We're going to give you these other pills to help his semen get back right. And in the meantime, breed Jules to a different dog. I ended up breeding her to Escalade. Escalade didn't produce that good with my girl, but I've seen some good production from Escalade. So at the end of the day, I went ahead and got Rock right. And when I did the breeding the third time that Jules was attempted to be bred to Rock, it went phenomenally well, and that's where BGKs Cujo came out. All right, so that was my vision the entire time. That was Cujo was what I had been chasing down. When I first seen Rock, I'm like, him to my girl would be crazy. Him to my girl would be crazy. And I finally got that breeding done. BGKs Cujo became a legend. BGKs Cujo went over to Europe. I sold him to Europe to start BGK Europe, which was a big mistake. I should have kept BGKs Cujo. I only was selling him because I wasn't familiar with how the blood grew. At that point, he was big, but not big as Rock. And I'm like, man, I still got Rock. Cujo's cool. He's big. He's not that big, but he's decently big. So at the end of the day, I'm not that worried about it. I got Rock. I'll start BGK Europe over there. I use Cujo to start another country with BGK, to start a franchise in another country. And that's what I did. Cujo went over there, and he basically was the first XL American Bully in Europe. He was definitely the most famous XL American Bully in Europe. And you can imagine how many people from Europe contacted me because they found out about BGK's Cujo, who was my first Rock breeding, right? So as Rock got to grow in popularity, he became legendary. He would produce male after male after male after male after male. Rock's production power was crazy. I took him to Extreme Bully Blood. I got BGK's Picasso. I got BGK's Viper. I got BGK's Bella. I had BGK's Debo. I mean, this boy just kept dropping production after production. He produced BGKs Azore, and BGKs Azore I ended up selling to XXL Designer Pitbulls, and he became their foundation stud. So Rock was just the kind of dog that can create foundation studs in his sleep. By the way, BGKs Azore, 200 pounds. Rock is a 150-pound dog, and he's producing 200-pound dogs. This dog is a producer. He's outproduced himself multiple times. Like, it's just incredible. I started calling him the super producer, and a lot of people started calling him the super producer because every time I bred Rock, magic. I breed Rock, magic. I breed Rock, magic. I breed Rock, magic. What is it when I breed Rock? Okay, I heard y'all. Magic, exactly. So with that being said, I spent $25,000 on a damn dog, and it was worth it. I don't regret it. And if you're thinking about investing in something, do it. Don't be scared to put your money where your mouth is. Don't be scared to jump off the porch and run with the big dogs. Literally. Because I'm a big dog, and that's what I did. Yo, I hope y'all like the story time. A little bit about the first time I decided to spend $25,000 on a dog. That happened. He blew up and made me that back times I don't know how much. Don't be scared to invest in yourself. Invest in your dreams. BGK out.
I've been seeing through a whole lot of fake love lately. Lying to my face, but you ain't got a fake love, baby. stopped running her mouth and we made up and made love. Amazing. Pretty face and body, every picture get a love. She famous.